Before we get too far in this video, I just want to say I've been doing some heavy camping in Upper Guk, and I do have some short sword of Ykeshas or Ykeshas and a bunch of skull-shaped Barut. I'm going to give 3 short swords away for free. Leave a comment with your character name below, and I'll get that parcel to you as soon as I can. And then I'm probably going to give away like 10 helmets because I just have an excess amount, and I'm not really going to sit in East Commons and sell all of them. I've been just vendoring off the skull-shaped Baruts. So go ahead and in the comments below, just leave your character name on the Oakwynd server, and I'll be in touch with you. All right, on to the video. All right, so how's everybody doing on Oakwynd so far? What do you guys think of the server? Is it meeting your expectations? I think I'm in the mid 40s right now. Some of my characters range between 43, 47. I have 9 characters that I'm kind of rotating in and out of group. It is a SK Warrior, Enchanter, Shaman, Cleric, Druid, Mage, Monk, and Bard. Not quite sure if I'm going to go to 2 full groups or not. That will help when I start doing Plane of Fear and Plane of Hate. Start farming some of the gear out of there. I have 2 full groups, but I don't know if I'm quite ready for that commitment yet. It does take a substantial amount of work to coordinate, move characters, gear them up, and all that fun stuff. And be honest, after doing the 15-18 box on Mischief, I'm a little bit exhausted on that. So we'll see. I might just stick with the 9. But pretty much I did a lot of the 30s up to like maybe 37, and Split Paw, there was not a lot of people there. Sometimes there's only 1 or 2 picks. And then from my 37 on-ish, I went to Lower Guk. Now there are a lot of people there. Just on Saturday yesterday, there were 10 instances, and each one had probably on average 30 people in them. Some less, some more. There aren't a lot of camps open in those picks. However, since I wasn't trying to get any of the named mobs or anything like that, and I was just trying to level, I found some pretty decent success in the Minotaur caves, and there's a lot of roamers in there, and I think there is like a named in there, but I don't know that I got it to spawn. But I did that till I got to the low 40s, and then finally I took over the Hamlord camp. That seemed to be the least frequented, and I mean, they're almost always camped. So even when I got this camp, people were like, hey, what's camp? And you get these CCs nonstop. So I mean, people are going there, but it seemed less frequented than some of the other camps in the zone. Went up there, camped the Ghoul Lord for a while, and I've just refused to leave. Kind of camp on that area or head that way. When I do get off, I'll check all the picks and see if that camp's open. Some of the mobs up there go to level 49. And as of right now, I think my highest character is level 47, range between 43 and 47. I should have gone to the hole a long time ago to finish off my leveling, and eventually I will because I don't want to pay for any withered or loam encrusted gear. But I absolutely hate moving locations, especially with 9 characters, so I'm going to stay where I'm comfortable and stay where I'm familiar. And once I leave this area, I'm just going to switch and move to the hole full time until I start doing, like I said, once I get 50, I'll start doing the Plane of Fear, Plane of Hate, at least the DZ. See if I can get some gear and kind of wait around till the next expansion comes out. With only having 9 characters, it makes some of the raid targets kind of hard to do. If I were to move that to 12 to 18, I might be able to hit some of the little mini bosses inside of Plane of Hate and maybe some other things, but I don't think I'll ever get to that level this time around. My second group, I would have to fill in with probably a Cleric, a Bard, and another DPS. And because those groups are like self-sustaining and not very optimal, like I'm going to always be on the low side of DPS, but I will have a lot of sustain and be able to carry fights longer than typical. So a lot of times I'll take like the safety and the control of the fights over like hurry up and killing stuff. Good or bad, it's just the way I prefer to play because wipes do take a lot of time, and it does get really annoying doing corpse runs. Brings me to Shadow Knights. Normally I main a Paladin, and it's not because Paladins are like super awesome, but one thing they can do is they can resurrect. And I'm finding that when the Cleric gets aggro and dies, which it does occasionally, it's like a full-on corpse run. Unless you can find somebody nearby to drag that corpse to you to get it res, like you're done at that camp. As weird as that sounds, because if I were to even gate my Druid out, go pick that Cleric up and try to run him back, I can't get back down to the camp. It's just too much stuff in the way, and it takes too much time to be ending a lot of deaths. So but once the Cleric dies, it pretty much means my group time at that camp is over. Obviously, I don't have like Call of the Hero or anything like that, so even getting the Cleric back to the zone in and then dealing with the, you know, the undead side versus the live side, it's just been too much of a corpse run. So what I'll do is I'll actually just like repick and actually run everybody back out together. I really don't like it. I don't want to be honest with you. The SK hands down is just seems to be like a way better tank, more sustainability with life taps and the damage, but I'm just like a Paladin at heart, and I think it's because of the same reason I have my groups that are just well sustained and controlled, is that I don't go for like this unique like high damage like end the fight. Like everything's got to be controlled and calculated, and with the Paladin I have an extra wipe recovery method there where I could res the Cleric in or just try to get the Paladin back down a little bit more beefier and try to res something in. So I'm just going to level the SK to 50, and there's a very good chance that once I get that experience bonus that I level a Paladin on the same account to 50. But I do enjoy the SK, and I do see how it's a superior tank, the Paladin, although with my Paladin, you know, I can res, got lay of hands, and then group heals help hold a lot of aggro. SKs are just going to be more DPS and probably better generally overall if you're not worried about having to do corpse runs and that type of stuff. Although having Feign Death and whatnot could actually help you retrieve corpses, I've just found that I have to start over my entire pick and run everybody back at once. And on to that note, I had made that Shaman after I started the group. I wasn't going to make one till later, and I just noticed now for the first time that Shamans are actually, I guess, better healers than Druids in the original. And I know that that changes at some point as far as, and I'm talking just as far as the instant heals, like the size of the heals, those bigger heals. The Shaman actually has Spirit Self for some reason. I don't remember that being an original at all because I don't really play a Shaman, but it heals somewhere between Superior Healing, which is what like the Druid caps out, and whatever the Cleric gets besides Complete Heal. It heals for 600 something base, where I think Superior Healing is like 400 maybe, and then Cleric has some type of light spell or something like that that does 800. I know hands down that the Shaman and SK is the best duo in game, and you don't get those torpor spells and those regen spells, but I didn't realize they could actually do their instant heal spells were bigger than Druids in the original. And I know, like I said, at some point that changes where Druids instant heals start to get significantly more than the Shamans, and even the Druid version of Complete Heal, whatever they get, Karana's Renewal, was significantly more than the Shaman's version. So just now noticing that they twinked the Druid for healing sometime after the original expansion, or maybe they added the Spirit Self to the game, but I haven't really looked into it. So how's everybody else doing? I mean, pretty much, you know, we're pretty far into the TLP right now, so people are probably max level, making alts. You know, what are you farming? Where are you making money? What type of stuff are you up to? How are you feeling about the service so far? Is it everything you dreamed it would be? Think they could do something more, something better? How are we liking the encounter locking and all that stuff? I found that the encounter locking is still, I kind of like it, but at the same point, it's also a little bit annoying if one of the other characters, because I have 9, if one of those gets aggro somehow first before the actual real group, then I have to yell to release it. And I found that's a little bit aggravating. But other than that, I think I like the encounter locking. I think some of those bonuses they have coming out for the upcoming expansions, I do think they need to group like the 125% bonuses and just release all that on Kunark, you know, whether it's rare spawns or coin. And then the next one's got to be 150%. They got to do something to keep people around. We got encounter locking, but it's really just a regular TLP, which is fun for a little while. But you know, with these TLPs, they should add something unique to each rendition of the TLPs. So that's my plan right now. You know, like I said, I leveled in the 30s and split paw, 40s I went for Guk, and then I'll probably finish off in the hole at some point. Pretty typical. I have like 40 skull-shaped Baruts from this camp. I don't know if anybody actually wants one, but what I've been doing is the last time I had a bunch filled up, I mean, my bags are overflowing with these helmets. I just vendored them. I think they sell for like 48 to 65 platinum at the vendor. I didn't even have the heart to even try to sell them. Also, the short sword of Ykesha or Ykesha, however you say that, I have to have probably 16 of those on me right now. If you do happen to see this and you want to get a deal on one of them, just let me know. Those I won't vendor, but you know, I'll probably sell them in chat and just for offers and not try to bring down the market at all. Just kind of let people offer some fair amount of money and just take whatever offers I get. I did that when I was farming in Split Paw with those Split Paw high gloves. I had to have like 40 of those too. And I just said, I have many, make offer. People bring me 25 platinum. There you go, 50 platinum. Whatever you guys were willing to pay, I pretty much took, as long as, you know, it wasn't like a serious lowball, like 5 platinum. And I'm willing to do that with these short swords and the skull-shaped Baruts, which I have so many of them. Like I said, I've been vendoring them. So you give me a little bit more in the vendor price, they're yours. But thanks for watching. I have upcoming at some point here, I'm going to go over a little bit of a documentary about my background. I'm going to call it maybe World of EverQuest, and it's kind of like the time that I spent in Warcraft, from Warcraft 2, 3 to World of Warcraft up until like the RPGs with EverQuest. I've seen a couple other videos recently on some of the other EverQuest channels talking about how EverQuest players hate World of Warcraft players, and I will tell you, just generally speaking, that I've never heard that before. I didn't know that was an actual thing, and there are people that played EverQuest more than me. Well, definitely more than me. But I know from 1999 to 2004, I averaged 8 hours a day. I think it was 8 hours and 26 minutes of, I think it was /plate or /care info, however you get that playtime. The actual playtime of my main character, and this doesn't include any AFK time because this is before I even found out about like even Macroquest or anything like that with auto gameplay. It's actual me on the computer playing 8 hours and 26 minutes a day for 5 years every day. And that character's long since sold when I did quit EverQuest. One of the last times I sold that account off. I played on the server called Praxis, and we lived by the PH. I mean, there were days like when my friends would come on and they'd go to work, and my next set of friends getting off work would come on, and I'd just be on pretty much all the time. I'd go through like 3 or 4 friend shifts of just nonstop EverQuest. And so I consider myself a relatively hardcore EverQuest player, and I'm going to do a little bit of a documentary series on my gaming background and what I think between the two games and whatnot. I've made some notes on what I want to talk about, but played both games so hardcore. As soon as I switched off EverQuest, I mean, I was probably in World of Warcraft at least 8 hours a day too. I had an actual website for World of Warcraft that used to be one of the bigger profession sites until WoW Professions took over. And then I even had like guides that were for sale in ClickBank, like gold guides and stuff like that. So it kind of, World of Warcraft became my actual job. I did make a decent amount of money selling those guides online. I mean, I had every class max level up a little bit through Wrath of the Lich King on both Horde and Alliance, so that I knew like the entire everything of the game. That died down a little bit as the guides kind of got like less popular and big sites like Wowhead started taking over and coming online. But I'm going to get into that in this little bit of a kind of, I guess, like a gaming history documentary I'm going to make. So hopefully I get that done within the next month. It's been kind of busy here. And yeah, so just let me know what you think. Leave some comments below. I want to hear how you're making money, how you're leveling, what you're enjoying about the TLP, all that fun stuff, what you think about the videos, what you think about boxing, like whatever you guys want to talk about, just go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I do respond to almost every comment as long as I understand what it is. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe, because I still need 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. I can make probably a whopping $5 a month off these videos if I can just get that 1,000 subscribers. We've already got the watch time requirements. Now I just need 1,000 subscribers. So get closer to that and I get that extra $5 a month, you know, maybe that will improve the quality of these videos. Not gonna improve it at all. So thanks for watching. We got P99, we got TLP, we got private servers and tests that's free. Some of us pay, some of us don't, some of us play, some of us won't. Did you just break my mess? Did you just train me? Did you just miss a healing? Are you gonna rest me? And please I need a sow, and please I need a rest. Please I need that sword, I'll take what you got.